Dear God, I grant you, I, please grant me, please grant me the opportunity to make this video without my battery dying and other annoying things such as the fan in the background. So if you can hear the fan, please apologize. I do apologize. Yes, it's not very American of me. My words are back to front like it's Mercury Retrograde for me still. Maybe it's because my Mercury is in Taurus, means I'm very, 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 very slow. So I'm slow naturally to react or do anything. If I make a decision, it'll take me like 2.5 years to be like, yep, I'm going to Japan, or 2.5 years to be like, yep, I'm going to follow this career, or like 10 years, I'll be like planning my career 10 years in advance. Like the 5 year thing, in the future, in every job interview that you attend when you are being interviewed. So when you are being interviewed, please tell me, do they ask you, I know this applies in the UK, possibly in the USA, do they always ask you somewhere halfway to near the end of the interview, so, like an evil Mr. Burns, excellent. So towards the end, do they ask you, so where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? I think the last time for an interview, I always have this like rinse and repeat phrase I say, which is like, I don't think any of us know where we will be. And I might have said this like 5 years in one interview before the pandemic. So it's true, we don't know where we will be. And I currently, how do I say this in the nicest way possible? A currently schizo boyfriend, before he got thrown into a psych ward, his accusation was that I and himself caused the plundering demic. I'm just going to use made up words because why not? That's obviously not true because, like, it doesn't make any sense. Although I was a teacher in China, like, long ago, a decade ago by now. I might look young. I'm hoping I still look young, actually. Part of me is insecure. So now you probably know my age because you know that I'm insecure, so I'm probably not so young, but I'm not so old either, so whichever way you like to go about it. So, but back to the forefront of where do you see yourself in 5 years' time is a load of bullcrap. I do wonder what the interview questions are like if you were to work for Tesla. One, I'm not American, so even if I applied for such a job, I'd never get a chance because I'm not American. Does that mean because I'm not Americano, like tasty coffee, does that mean I'm going to, like, yeah, does that mean no chances? And two, does that mean I have to have a degree? I'm using this as an example. I mean, degrees are fine, but do you want to deal with the rest of the debt for the rest of your life? I get anxiety if I go like £2. That's like $2.5 in the minus. I get severe anxiety if I go into the minus. I can't deal with the minus. That every time good news has happened, if I go into the plus or I get a bonus or I get a tax refund, all of a sudden I'm mysteriously presented with money. And the first thing I imagine is, oh my goodness, I'm in debt. Like, I completely ignore there's no minus. I just assume the worst has happened. So I have the opposite extreme of my sort of, as Facebook would call it, it's complicated boyfriend situation ship. What's his name? Bob's your uncle. I don't know reveal the name, but yeah, if he had the opposite problem where at his height of his psychosis, because of student loans, he assumed that he was given by the universe, God Almighty, for instance, £3,000. That was not the case because it was debt. it had a minus in front of it. He thought it was a plus. Whereas I have the opposite extreme where when I have actual money, people want to help me, or people give me money, or the government wants to give me money, or somebody, I've done something good, I'm so much in denial that I just think, oh, what have I done wrong? So the first reaction I had when I had I think it was like a tax refund or something, I'm using this as an example, I was like, this is a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's all a complete lie. It took me like 2-3 hours, but then I realized I had actual money in my account that was a surplus. So I was walking down the street, my back was straighter, and I was like, well, my crippling depression just got cured. I'm saying somewhat sarcastically, somewhat truthfully, but halfway sarcastically still, because money does not buy you happiness, but it does damn well help a lot. So I remember walking straighter, breathing far easier, not having to use an inhaler. It was a miracle. Anyway, I'd just like to say hello, dear audience. How are you guys doing? I'm aware that the majority of my audience is middle-aged males. Should I feel bad? Probably. A part of me thinks like, oh dear, I'm creating a Lolita complex. I assure you, I'm not, like, I know there are some YouTubers through the sort of It's Complicated boyfriend situationship. He said that he showed me this French Canadian girl who's like 3/4 naked all the time on YouTube, and she gets lots of money from old men. But I do not need to put on a French accent because I'm just being myself. Because if I put on a French accent, I sound like an asshole. So what is the point? It's like, this is just an act. It's like, I don't need to put on this stupid voice to earn money because I'm already broke, and if I earn money, I do not want tips. It's like, life is a pile of shit anyway. If you want to see the beach, you go to the beach. You know, the beach is on the beach. Okay, I should shut up now. I'm probably gonna like get demonetized immediately for saying this pile of ass. So, I'm not even monetized in the first place. What am I complaining about? So, this is, I'm wearing my extra chic redneck. I call it my redneck top. My tartan redneck top that I bought in France. That I've had since I was probably 15, 16 years old. And I'm like an old woman now. I'm old. So all the people watching this channel, I feel so bad. I'm sorry. Look, okay, you're not old if you're 50. Like, if you're a guy, if you're a dude, the whole silver fox, like grey hair, dad bod, whatever, skinny bod, wrinkly man, whatever, you're okay. Men are okay. It's women, like, we worry because, like, some women start having hot flashes at age 30, 35, whatever. I'm not saying I have that. I don't know, actually. But it's like, you don't have to worry about this extra crap. Like, the gonads are down there, not up here. You don't have, like, giant melons up here. You've got the melons down there. The worst that could happen is the melons stick to your thighs or the sides of your legs when you're walking. And I'm so sorry. That's unfortunate. Like, life, gravity. Surely there must be certain exercises for men for those issues. The reason why I say this is because if you're a woman, I'm lucky. I'm one of the lucky ones. I was a late bloomer, very, very, very. Like, people were worried I was gonna turn into a boy or something, because I started getting a 6-pack age 14, and I had no signs of nothing, and I was just like flat as a pancake. I was called like lamppost and surfboard as a nickname in French. I was bullied daily, and girls and boys accused me of being lesbian because I did not have the form of a whoa man. But now I'm a whoa man. It means I'm whoa. Whoa, so cool. Whoa man. There's like a man with a womb. Womb. Whoa. Whoa. Woe unto ye. Now I'm just going into weird biblical archaic references. Never mind. But anyway. So I was a late bloomer. Good for me, because it basically meant I went through teenage hormonal acne in my mid-20s, age 25. So, and all my health problems that came upon from age 25. And my life turned to ass from age 25 onwards. Whereas most people already had like bodies of 40-year-olds, in my personal opinion, age 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, including guys I knew, like premature balding, some unfortunate genetics, mostly stress, presumably. It's not normal. I don't think there's like, you're not supposed to have all these health problems. Do you think World War II generation had this health? I mean, they had PTSD guaranteed, but their health was physically better prior to extra pharmaceuticals. Don't you think? Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, so I could be totally talking up my behind. Where was I? Where was I on the topic of... So this is my redneck top. I absolutely love it. I've had it since forever. It's got these like fake pearl... It actually might be real shells. As in, you know, like in the past they used buttons. They used to have like real shells designed from actual shells from the sea. Whereas according to science, there will be no more fish or coral reefs in the sea by 2040, maybe tops 2045. Do you realize how near that is? That's nothing. You watching this channel right now, you probably wake up the day after and then you look at the day and the year and you think, hang on a minute, a year just went by. It felt like yesterday. Yes, exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. Like 1 year feels like nothing now. Maybe we're approaching a black hole and we don't know because time is so non-linear, but it feels like it's approaching super duper 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 fast. That 3 generations of women, meaning my World War II grandmother born in the 1920s, had a discussion with my mother born in the 1960s alongside with me in my teen years back in the days of 2008 or 9 or whatever, back in France, long time ago already. So now I'm old. Am I old? Am I supposed to talk like an old person? Anyway, I'm not old. So, and my French grandmother told my mother, who told me, but my grandmother told me as well directly. It's time appears to be speeding up. It's not just a case of as you grow up, time goes faster because it's not new information anymore that's processing in your brain. Time is simply speeding up. Maybe because we're of the generation of the information generation or something like that, like people born from 1985 to 1995, something like that. It's some astrological thing. But I don't think it's just that. I think we're living at a faster time, perception time, than much. In other words, in layman's terms, or laywoman's, man's terms, you would be better off. You might as well start taking up a meditation act, a meditational. Is that a word? Meditational? Like, is the word decorative? That's a word, right? Anyway, so you might as well take on a meditation thing right now. You know, breathe in, hold it, 4 seconds. Breathe out. Try and get it right from the bottom of the lungs, you know, like an old man about to hack his lungs up, like I heard in China. My neighbours like I'd always hear those disgusting sounds through the thin paper walls in China. That's how it worked. So, you know, I'm so proud of myself for having actually gone to goddamn China, on the brink of Siberia, and also on the brink of Inner Mongolia, but I was more towards Outer Mongolia, if that makes sense. And I was higher than North Korea, where I was situated. I cannot really mention much else because, I don't know, I might have Chinese trials after me. No, I'm joking. But I am actually half serious. Because the psycho, I don't want to call him that. The psycho, it's complicated boyfriend said that he met a girl when he wound up. He basically ran away to New York, escaped the psych ward, ran away to New York about well over a decade ago. So I don't know, 2007, 8, 9, 10. Maybe around the same time I went to all around the world. I don't know. Or prior to that, because he's older than me. So he was like 19, 20, 21, I don't know, in New York. bought an African dress and went around thinking he was Jesus. Now, that's all very fine. He met some girl who said, I don't know if she had been in China, had anything to do with China. She must have been part of Gen X, because he's on the cusp. It's like towards Gen X, and I'm more of a millennial, older millennial, but he's like an older millennial, but still a millennial, I guess. Some people might. He acts like Gen X, but he's not Gen X. He's like. It's too pitiful to be Gen X, actually. But Gen X is quite pitiful, in my opinion, overall. So excuse me. Like, if the YouTube dislikes were working right now for saying this, I'm sure I'll get like a dozen dislikes just saying as it is. Battery power 15%. I think I can make it. Okay. So, a girl came up to him in New York, in Central Park, or around that general area. Unless it was Baton Rouge, because he ended up homeless in several different areas. Told him, she started waffling on about Qigong, and saying, like, the Chinese government, the Chinese party, they are after me, they're going to get to me, they're going to stop me because Qigong is a secret weapon. Maybe it is. Now, here's the funny thing is, like, Qigong, like, it's really common. Old people do it. Like, they just do those dancing meditations in, like, public areas, all in synchronicity. They do choreography, like Britney Spears stuff in the streets in China, like this. Like, whilst listening to, like, really dated Chinese pop music. Like, that's just the norm, okay? And I witnessed that, and I laughed my ass off. And I just thought, like, well, at least I can order coffee and food in Chinese, just about, and make sure I don't accidentally order dog meat, because there was a sign that mentioned dog meat. I can't remember the symbol for dog meat. As I say, I was an ex-partner, boyfriend, once upon a time, high school sweetheart, boyfriend, who notified me, oh, that's that sign over there, that's the, that means dog meat. Dog, Jiro. I think Jiro means meat, I can't remember. But anyway, I need to really refresh my Chinois at some point. My nose is getting all runny because of stupid allergies. Now I'm sounding like a whiny American teenager. And here's the funny thing. I realize one cannot simply take the piss out of Americans and the American accents, nor the redneck accent, because to them, they are the leading frontier of society. There's no other culture on top of the food chain against them that will mock them. The only potential threat could be British people, but really they look down upon us and assume we all sound like Stewie from Family Guy, and I hate Family Guy, and Stewie's just like a football-headed... you know what, I don't like the character, basically. So being compared to Stewie from Family Guy is rather insulting, because I don't have, like, that's not my normal accent, because the way I'm talking, I'm supposed to be speaking like, hey up love, how you doing? Hey up, it's football, hey up, hey, bit of butter. That's like how I naturally would talk. That's 6 hours drive up north to the middle of England, so if you take all of the United Kingdom, ignore Ireland, everyone ignores Ireland, and then you sort of like slice right down the middle, that's where I'm from. But the thing is, I moved slap bang, I mean, I'm basically like really near to London, so I don't know. And if I talk like hey up love, a bit of butter and forget my T's, like Americans replace their T's with D's, like butter, right? Butter? And they're probably gonna think like this doesn't sound like a joke. At least I hope so, unless they're all taking a piss out of me secretly behind closed doors. So any American watching this, please inform me. I don't know. So, yeah. They just like soften the T's that sound like D's, and they use a lot of diphthongs, so like everything's like like sort of elongated consonants, something like that. Anyway, so if you're I don't know what I was gonna say. Yeah, it's really hard to take the mickey out of an American accent, because because trying to make fun of the majority is like, I don't know, it's like a fart in the wind. Sorry if that's a really bad analogy. I don't know how else to put it. It's, I cannot make fun of the American accent, but Americans can make fun of my accent day in and day out if they want to. It's just like, we're going to a Walmart. I don't speak like that. I mean, yeah, I'm speaking like that now on camera because, like, enunciating and saying everything properly the British way and drinking cups of tea with your pinky finger up is a whole lot of codswallop. I think it's a load of crap, okay? But what's funny is, over here, the more I'm exposed over time, every time I've been exposed to Americanisms and American culture and all that, more so than French or British culture, I've been very isolated mentally, culturally. I don't know how to explain it. I've had a lot of people mistake my accent for American, but if I were to land in America immediately, my accent's not American. Same with like coming back from France. Immediately I'm mistaken for sounding French, and that I speak really good English for a French person. I'm like, bitch, I was born in the UK, so what do you expect? Like, my accent goes all over the place, so I adapt to. Maybe when I came back from China, I had a weird Chinese accent. I don't know. Maybe it's like up and down and all over the place. I don't know. Lots of weird accents and stuff. And yeah. Anyway, I guess what I was trying to say is, this is my redneck shirt. This is me being a dumb blonde. This is my 90s heroin chic thing. What do you call it? Tattoo style 90s necklace. I was banned from wearing these harmless little things in the 90s because my mother said only whores wear these and only prostitutes wear these. It's like, no, maybe these, like, you know, I like these because it's just like, there's no metal, so it's not itchy and scratchy, and it's actually relatively comfortable compared. I can't really wear anything around my neck unless it feels soft. I don't know if that makes sense. It's a sensitive area slash topic. I mean, part of it is through abuse. I'm just saying that bluntly as it is. No, I'm not into that kind of stuff at all whatsoever. No, I'm not trans because apparently I used to watch trans videos where men would learn to act more feminine and they'd wear this apparently in front of the collarbone to hide a collarbone, but I don't have a collarbone. I'm hoping I don't. But even women have technically collarbones to an extent, they just don't have it as prominent. So yeah, maybe I might to some people look a bit masculine because I hit puberty very, 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 very late. As a result, I was doing a lot of exercise and sports before I hit puberty, so all the calories I burnt turned to muscle before it turned into fat or curves. Yeah, and stress, high levels of cortisol. So apparently in utero stress, so if the mother is under life-endangering stress, it can create high testosterone levels in the unborn daughters, which might explain why I'm like super, I don't say masculinized. Like, I hate this because like I would like feel like a part of me is like a complete girly girl. I just express things in the most girlyish way possible because I didn't have the role models. My mother was not very feminine. I had younger sisters, but being the oldest, who could I copy, you know? Like, I had no female role models. It's really weird because my younger siblings, friends, parents, mothers specifically, they'd all like out of the blue just give me gifts, necklaces, jewelry, stuff like that. Maybe they're trying to make me more girly. I don't know. Maybe they realized something was going on in my family. Maybe it's abuse. I don't know. Or they felt bad for me. I had like family, like just taking me out to shops, extended family, like cousins, once, twice, 10 times removed, and great aunts and great uncles taking me out to the stores and offering me to go on their yachts and stuff like that, and have steak and just, I don't know. And I'd come back home with all these goodies and money and clothes, and my mother would say, "How dare you accept these offers and these items? You know it's rude to accept money from strangers. How dare you?" This was family. I didn't like go to, if a strangers gave me money, of course I'd accept it, you know, if especially for a kid. But this was family, not strangers. Um, yeah, it's kind of damn weird now I think about it. I think a lot of people on both sides of my family, aunties, uncles, they knew stuff was going on, and the only way they could do it is by giving me gifts. I don't know, it's kind of weird. So either that was the poverty. I don't know. Like, first of all, poverty is an actual thing. Why is it people cannot acknowledge that? Oh well. I need to like pause this so I can blow my nose. Is this working? Yes, it's working. So, just because one wears a choker, plastic, evil eye, whatever necklace does not make you a hooker, does not mean you are a pile of trash. It just means I'm too broke to buy a 24-carat gold necklace or something made from India. I cannot afford diamonds. I cannot afford anything to live in some Marilyn Monroe reality. It's not going to happen. And I do like black, and I do like things that look like tattoos without actually having to get a tattoo. Why am I justifying this to my dear audience? I'm sorry. Do you want to hear this crap? So, no, you probably don't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm wearing this top as well, because I was wearing this like really nice like square shaped top, so like it had a square cut out part so you could see this much of my chest, and it was a much nicer top. Except I've realized one thing: every time I wear anything made out of synthetics, I end up sweating, but I have missing sweat glands, a lot of key components of my body, so I end up overheating and I end up suffering from a heat stroke, and it's like a heat wave in the UK, and it's probably nowhere near to the temperatures in Florida. I can't deal with hot weather. Even in a hot, I don't know, I just can't deal with, it's a humidity I can't stand. It's that slimy feeling and I hate it. If, oddly enough, I was actually able to deal with hot weather in Dubai and other areas nearby Dubai long ago on holiday, and parts of Egypt. Although the further down south, you know, going toward Luxor to see the ancient pyramid stuff and tombs, like, then it started getting damper and damper and more humid. Although it was still relatively dry, I needed the... I actually complained to an ex-high school sweetheart. I said, "I'm cold." And this was April in Egypt, Cairo. I was like, "I'm cold, the wind is making... Look, I've got goose bumps and my arms cold." And he was like, "Only you could end up cold in such a country." I was just like, "Yeah, I've got cold feet because I'm gonna see the Egyptian pyramids." Like, I've been high about the idea of the Giza pyramids, the Sphinx, and all that since I was a little girl. So since like 7, 8 years old, I used to sleep like a mummy. I used to sleep like this, to the point my parents would walk in on me a few times when I was like 12 or 10 or whatever, and they'd burst out laughing. My mum also invited the rest of the family to all start joining in laughing at me, be like, "Oh look, she hasn't moved." I used to sleep in a log. This before I hit puberty. There's something about hormones that makes you like jump around and move around in the bed, and you end up sleeping like a starfish or kicking a few over books and a lamp and stuff over. But prior to that, I slept like a log, straight as a log all throughout the night. I was like, I used to actually sleep like a log, and I used to visualize. I didn't know about anything to do with New Age stuff or internet stuff, but in the 90s as a child, I used to know how to rock my astral body so I'd like my physical body would be like this, or just like completely straight like a log, like a bloody zombie. But I was able to like get the sensation of rocking my entire body, like so I was straight. Am I straight? Is anyone straight? Anyway, so I managed to rock my astral body back and forth, so it felt like I was going against gravity. And then I'd use that sort of like create a momentum before I'd just like ping like a slingshot, either up or down. Now the problem is when you fly out and you fly into the astral realm, I used to fly into the lower realms because I tried the rollout technique inadvertently back in the days, not knowing anything. And I see like reptilians in sewers and greys and piles of turds and all kinds of horrible stuff and amber turds. It just sucked. And then like on the higher levels, I guess I saw aliens came to me and showed me opening portals through the freaking wall, and most people would say, "Bitch, you just had a very vivid dream." I'm like, "No, there's no LSD in my tap water, contrary to what happened in a small town in southern France in the 60s. The CIA spiked a French small town in southern France with LSD to see what would happen." I don't think I had LSD in my tap water in 2002, 3, 4. No, this was in the UK. It wasn't even in France at the time. So, like, hell no. But where I was, supposedly I live next to... I'm going to say this purposely incorrectly because it's spelt with an I presume, but maybe it's spelt with an E. I don't know. Ben Laden's cousin's house. So I apparently... Yeah. My house also got burnt down because, like, my family are half white. I don't know, like, they set the hedge, 2-meter high hedge in front of our house, and the car that was in front of it was the next door neighbour's house of some old granddad, so they had 3 generations of a Pakistani family. Oh, it was a complete mess. Because, yeah, I'm not of that religion, but even if I was, I'd just... So apparently I was seen as a bad person, and me coming out with saying this stuff was apparently very, 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 very taboo. Why is the truth is just so continuously taboo? It beats me, I don't know. I was 8 years old and I saved, in quotes, my younger brother and sister who are like, I don't know, 4 and 5 years old. I ran into their bedroom and I grabbed my brother's favourite toy and my sister's favourite toy in case the windows would have exploded because I saw flames right in front of the 2nd floor window. So here's a weird thing. When danger actually happens, if blood's spurting out of a person's finger, which happened to my mum, she accidentally almost chopped a finger off with a bread knife in my teen years. I was just like, I just ran in, did everything and fixed everything, and my mother said I was like a maniac. So like the good news is under pressure I'm fixing other people's lives and all that, and I don't realise until too late, 5% battery life. I don't realise until way too late. Like I've gone through a lot of traumatic stuff. I don't know how to put it. I put my own needs last, to help other people. And I'm just trying to say as well, some of you might identify as what you call chosen ones. That's fine. You can identify as starseeds, chosen ones, and hippopotamuses if you want to. It's entirely fine. You've got to realise though, if you become too identified with any possible concept, even one you identify with that you like, especially like, it's probably something of ego. I'm not saying you should like shove it under the carpet and like shave your head and become a bald monk eating scraps. No. But just keep in mind that one should not become identified with the ego. I don't know how else to put it. And yes, chosen ones, in quotes, do exist. Yes, they are stated supposedly in the Bible. probably the Old Bible, I don't know, maybe even the New Testament Bible. But the minute you start adding numbers and empirical evidence is when it becomes something of ego. And or it's like spiritual narcissism through the back door, basically. So my friends watching this, please be careful. Like I myself have, I don't say I've been scammed. I think maybe we've all been scammed. Anybody that's smart, you know, if you're watching this, you're probably real smart, has been scammed, has been used by so-called spiritual leaders that charge you a ridiculous amount, don't give you what you want, what you need even. They don't give you what you need. And then they make videos proclaiming that it's not good enough and you won't get your twin flame and you won't become enlightened if you don't do XYZ. No, that is making it empirical. That is making a plan. That is very left brain thinking. That is not going to work. The only reason left brain works if you're ADHD and on the spectrum and you need a routine day in day out to make sure you don't, like, I don't know, trip over a brick and forget your house keys. Yeah, you might need that stuff. But for the most part, most of us do not need to be stuck in the left brain. Like, the majority of humanity, they need to get into more right-brained. I'd say only a small percentage of us, the ones on the spectrum, maybe they need to be more down to earth and use their left brain when it's applicable. So the Elon Musks of society, like the autistics and all the weirdos, like, you're already right brain, you're already like way out there. You just need to come back down here, or find a way to come back down here so you can function as an individual interdependently with other individuals. So you don't want to become dependent on the neurotypical society. That's a pile of ass. Please don't, okay? That will be a detriment towards your creative and futuristic thinking. Absolute disaster, okay? Or as Buddha would say, just take the middle ground. The middle ground. The middle ground is collapsing duality into, you know. I was gonna make fart sounds, like, at the beginning of this video for comedic effect, but then I kind of gave up and realised I just forgot. And if I had my younger brother or the it's complicated Facebook status boyfriend situations, you know, complicated crap, one or the other would have encouraged the farts video. They would have encouraged some nonsense like that, whereas me being a good girl, I try to get straight to the point, even though I appear to be waffling nonsense, hugging my hands in sheer desperation because I have no idea what I'm talking about. And this video is sponsored, no, it's not sponsored by anybody, but shout out to Terry Joel Jr. So, because that guy's inspired me to make more videos, it kind of helps that he's got one of the same names as one of my uncles. But yeah, nobody else is doing, like, there's no British equivalent of that, so I will start it. Unless you count it as Infinite Waters, but it's all dudes with their gonads, but no, the melons up front. But okay, I'll stop being gross and weird. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I should put a donation video thing. Donation video? I should put a donation link under this video when I upload this video, if this will ever happen. I'm a little bit more upbeat than I normally am. I hope this remains this way. Maybe it's the Xanax. I don't know. I don't like this idea of having to rely on pharmaceuticals. But hey ho, some of us have, like, really defective serotonin levels. I'm still doing research into upping that naturally rather than relying on pharmaceuticals. The other thing is, a few years prior to the lockdown, I was very randomly researching epigenetics because I was suffering from mysterious autoimmune conditions and health conditions. I'm now having to reopen that case and look at these things do more research on that, self-research, because all the worst possible nightmares of humanity came true during the, March 2020. I'm just saying, it's pretty bad. Doctors have been censored, hundreds of thousands of them. Telling the truth has never been so bad at this current time. I wonder if there's going to be any karmic justice throughout this age of Aquarius. I don't know. I'm not an astrologer, and I'm learning that too. But when it comes to the science and the facts, Bill Gates is just a programmer that kind of fell into health studies. He knows full well what he's doing, as in he's very Machiavellian, so to speak. I know this because a few years prior to that, I was looking into the same subjects after transitioning from programming information, realizing the information from programming can be transitioned to the studies on the human liver and other components of the human body, because it's like a program, essentially. But you cannot play God. We can only